the popo. That there is a no-go. That's how we know you ain't robo. Know that your pops is a nip on the slide. Hate on they start all cause you couldn't shine and claim you're a don, never heard such a lie. If so, should I handle the beef for lie? Clear that you're fabricating in your lines. And me and my man, them really about the line. Shout out my brothers on not doing time. Won't be too long for you back on your grind. Swear down the devil, only troubles kings. That's how you know that we're destined to win. Try take the crown, but the only thing is the one foot is out, the other's still in. My brothers some alligators. Snap out these chickens, do show they rate us.
All right. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you may be in the world today. Welcome, everybody, to the FIBA YouTube channel. You are tuning in to the FIBA Asia Cup Saudi Arabia 2025 qualifiers brought to you by the Smart Livestream app. Welcome, everybody, to the Philippines versus New Zealand, a head-to-head grudge match between the top two teams in their group. Two teams who want to get this win very, very badly against one another. The Philippines are coming off of a loss against Chinese Taipei, a loss that many didn't see coming, but many were very definitely surprised that happened. That was a great game by Chinese Taipei, executed all throughout that game and showed some excellent poise against a top-seeded, undefeated at the time, Philippine team. Meanwhile, New Zealand, they are coming off of a very, very big win against Hong Kong. That was a dominant performance there from New Zealand. They really showed the entire tournament why they are one of the top teams in this qualifying tournament, and obviously one of the top two teams in their group alongside this Philippine team who now have a loss to their name and don't have the utmost momentum coming into this one. And right now it is New Zealand who definitely has the momentum on their side. But now let's talk about New Zealand still here and talk about what went well for them in that game against Hong Kong. Well, three-point shooting what went well for New Zealand. They had 12 three-pointers against Hong Kong, and 6 of those three-pointers came from Jordan Ngatai, who had 6 three-pointers in that one. So definitely sharp shooting from downtown was what helped this New Zealand team propel themselves against Hong Kong, and that's something that the Philippines struggled with against Chinese Taipei. Chinese Taipei just had too much firepower from downtown. You saw a lot of three-pointers coming from the likes of Mohamed Gadiaga. Brandon Gilbeck on the defensive end contributed well against the Philippines. So defense and three-point shooting, opponent three-point shooting, is what the Philippines need to watch out for. So if you're a fan from the Philippines, that's what you want to watch out for yourselves as you're watching the game with us here, watching the game rather on the Smart Livestream app. By the way, if you are just joining us now, you can watch the game on the Smart Livestream app if you're in the Philippines completely for free. And if you're joining us here in the chat party, then this is the perfect place to talk about the game and to talk about and dissect the game from the first quarter all up until the fourth quarter. So if that's something that you're interested in doing, stick around here on the chat party because we have a lot to talk about. This is going to be a matchup where you see teams switching their offensive and defensive arsenal time and time again. Possession after possession, quarter after quarter. These are two teams that know how to win basketball games, especially in this qualifying tournament. So they're not going to let up anytime soon. And for sure, that offensive and defensive tactics are going to be changing as this game progresses. So it'll be interesting to see how the Philippines adjust and how New Zealand adjusts to the Philippines as well. Now, let's talk about Gilas Pilipinas a little bit here before we get the opening tip. Three-pointers was, well, it worked well for Justin Brownlee because he had 8 of the 10 three-pointers that the Philippines shot against Chinese Taipei. Unfortunately for them, Brownlee and Dwight Ramos were the only 2 players who were able to connect on that three-point shot. Everyone else, no three-point field goals for them. They had 10 three-pointers all throughout the game. 8 came from Brownlee, 2 came from Dwight Ramos. So if you're the Philippines, Yes, New Zealand might have only had 2 more triples in their last game, but you only have 2 players who shot that 3-pointer well. So you need to involve a lot of your other guys to make sure that that offensive arsenal is well in use. Guys like CJ Perez, Calvin Oftana, those are players who can hit that 3-point shot very, very well. So if you're the Philippines, you want to make sure that you get them involved early. Now, this is something very different for the Philippines. The young player, the young star for them in Kevin Kiambao looks like he's going to be starting in this one alongside the veterans of Dwight Ramos, Justin Brownlee, Junmar Fajardo, and Scotty Thompson in that starting 5 for the Philippines. So I talked about, if you joined us in our chat party last time against Chinese Taipei, I talked about how maybe Coach Tim should try to switch things up and inject some energy, some youth into the lineup, and that's exactly what he's doing here with this matchup against New Zealand and incorporating Kevin Kiambao early in this one. First bucket of the game coming here for New Zealand for Tohi Smith-Milner. That's a 3-pointer. So again, just as I say it, New Zealand already with the first triple of the game. The Philippines already looking like they have some flashbacks, some war flashbacks from that last game against Chinese Taipei. Let's see how they respond though. Ramos with a missed shot. Kevin Kiambao, there he is. Young legs, young energy with the offensive rebound. Scotty Thompson with the basketball, draws the foul, and that is going to go on Taylor Britt. So some good energy from the Philippines to start off this one. So Thompson draws the foul. He's going to head to the free throw line here to shoot some free throws and already attacking the rim here. You saw Dwight Ramos trying to get a turnaround jumper in there. And now it was the next possession. Scotty Thompson driving to the basket, drawing the foul. Unfortunately, it wasn't called for a shooting foul. It's going to be called for a foul on the floor. So they're going to take it out of bounds. 14 seconds on the shot clock here for the Philippines as they look to get their first bucket. And there's another foul quickly drawn there. It's going to go on Webster. Brownlee, turnaround jumper. That's good. Justin Brownlee picking up right where he left off in that last game against Chinese Taipei. He had 38 in that last game. Another 3-pointer coming up. Jordan Ngatai getting another triple. 6-2 is our score. That's what we were talking about. Ngatai had 6 triples in their last game. You cannot leave him open or give him enough space. All right, chat. Let me see who you're supporting here between Philippines and New Zealand. I see some people already supporting the Philippines very early on. So some Filipino fans up bright and early here. It's 10 a.m. here in the Philippines. So they are up bright and early to watch this game on a Sunday. Happy Sunday to everybody. JC Hilario saying best of luck to the Philippines. Well, they are doing pretty well right now. 8-5. Make that 8-7 courtesy of Dwight Ramos, who drives in for a quick layup. It makes it a 1-point game here. So again, the Philippines are attacking the paint here and getting some quality looks. I'm not sure if that was the game plan or if they're just giving what the defense is, or if they're just taking what the defense is giving them right now. But so far, Junmar backing down the defender. Oh, but he gets that ball stolen. New Zealand, they're really working that ball around that 3-point arc, looking to get open, and drawing the foul that time was Taylor Britt. Foul is going to go on Junmar Fajardo. So that is going to be a tough. It's going to be tough if you have Junmar in foul trouble, because he's obviously your biggest body. Now that Kai Soto is out with an injury, he's going to be your big man for majority of the tournament. So that's going to be tough for the Philippines there. 3-pointer on the way. That is good. Webster gets the triple to fall, 11-7. So already New Zealand coming right out of the gates here and scoring big time on that 3-point shot. That is already 3-pointer number 4. They're shooting 3 for 4 from downtown. Thompson, can he answer? Left it short. Ramos, the offensive rebound. Turnaround jumper, no good. And New Zealand with it. Salmorin Alho saying, "Kaya nyo yan, Gilas." In he said that in Filipino. In English, that means, "You guys can do it, Gilas Pilipinas." 13-7 is our score though, as Ruben Terangi gets the lay-in to fall. The Philippines is just having a tough time holding that basketball. Turnover after turnover is giving New Zealand a lot of possessions here. That 3-point shot was no good by Milner. So 13-7 still our score here. The Philippines is just having a lot of trouble getting that ball in that painted area, but not a problem for Justin Brownlee. Gets another jumper to fall. Gives the Philippines their 9th point of the game. Brownlee already has 4 points and 2 rebounds. Natay drives, gets into the paint. Tough lay-in. Gets the bump as well. There's no foul, but he made contact through everybody to get that one up and in. Natay with 7 points, taking full advantage of the size difference that he has against the Philippine defense. Ramos, the 3-pointer. Too strong. New Zealand is really picking up the pace here early in the first quarter. 15-9 is the score. Oh, what a behind the back pass. Smith Milner rattles home the triple. And New Zealand coming out of the gates. Hot shooting to start off this one. They had 12 triples in their last game against Hong Kong. They're already up to 4 here against the Philippines. 4 of 6 from downtown for New Zealand, and Coach Tim Cohn needs a timeout. 18-9. Wow. Well, chat, let me know what you think about the start of this game, chat. I see 142 people already in here. We're starting to pile up the numbers. Tell your friends, tell your family that we're on here on the chat party. You can watch the games on Smart live stream, but you can join in here to talk about the game and react to this ball game that we have here. So if you're in the Philippines, go on to the Smart live stream app. It's completely free. That's where you can watch the game, and you can join us simultaneously here on the chat party so you can react and talk with us about the ball game. Let's see what people are saying here. Well, people are asking where you can watch the game. There you go, the Smart live stream app. But let me know what you guys think about this game so far. What is lacking for the Philippines in the first 5 minutes of this game? What have you seen that the Philippines can improve on and kind of work and squeak? So Coach Tim Cohn just subbed out Kevin Kiambao. That injection of young energy just isn't there quite yet, and he's already subbing him out for Chris Newsome, some veteran experience to lead the floor here. And kudos to Coach Tim. This is the same 5 that reignited the Philippine offense down the stretch against Chinese Taipei. So maybe he's looking to find some of that energy to start off this one against New Zealand. But so far, the Philippines are just starting very, very slow here. New Zealand, on the other hand, it looks like they've been playing for 40 minutes already, as we get another bucket there from Leafa. Makes it 20-9. Already an 11-point lead for New Zealand early here in the first quarter. Nice pass on the inside from Brownlee to Fajardo. And that's going to be 22-11. They cut the lead down to single digits. New Zealand back with the basketball. Ooh, tough shot that time. Webster, though, tried his best on that one. That was very close. The tip-in shot by Wynyard, rather, is good. So that's 22-11. A foul on the inside. Junmar Fajardo gets fouled there. Looks like that's gonna go on. That's gonna go on Webster, I believe. So AJ Edu will head back into this ball game. Oh, sorry, that was Wynyard who fouled Fajardo that time. So Fajardo will take a seat. AJ Edu steps into this game. 22-11. New Zealand has already doubled the points here from the Philippines. 6 seconds on the shot clock for Justin Brownlee. Brownlee with a drive. Nice find. Scotty Thompson, the three-pointer. So the lines from the Philippines have all been straight and on point. It's just a matter of finding the right strength to it. Sometimes it's a little bit too strong. Sometimes it's a little bit too short. That time from Thompson, hit the back iron, but right down the middle. And Justin Brownlee not having trouble finding the net. Gets another bucket for the Philippines. Cuts the lead down to 9. So I see a couple of people supporting New Zealand on the chat right now. We'll keep it friendly here, guys. 22-13 is our score. Three-pointer in the corner. That is good by Max Darling. Instant. Right as he received that basketball, let it loose, let it fly from the corner, and gives New Zealand a 12-point lead. They are shooting non-stop. This is so fun to watch if you're just a basketball fan. But again, if you're the Philippines, though, you want to try and find some of that hot shooting in the corner, or hot shooting from downtown, rather. Because New Zealand right now, let's see how many three-pointers they have. I believe they are already up to, they're up to 5 three-pointers already. 71% from downtown. They've made 10 shots today, 5 of those coming from downtown. Boy, what a game. What a start to the game from New Zealand. It feels like the Philippines should be down more than they are. It's only a 12-point lead, and I say that because it feels like they should be down by at least maybe 20 or something with the way that New Zealand is shooting. Turnovers have really hurt the Philippines here. To start off this one, well, it's only 2, but it's already led to 6 points off of those 3-point shots. So 1 turnover is extremely costly against a hot shooting New Zealand team. (25-13) is our score here. Ty Wynyard is at the free throw line to shoot some free throws. He was fouled earlier by the Philippines, so 2 free throws coming up and a chance to add more to this lead. That's another way the Philippines can get back into this game. This is how they managed to fight their way back late in the game against Chinese Taipei. Getting to the free throw line, getting those buckets. Yeah, it's going to be hard to find their way back into this one if they cannot find that 3-point shot or their way to the free throw line. Another possession here for the Philippines. Thompson, oh, a miscommunication. But luckily, New Zealand had the last piece on that one. So that's going to be out of bounds. It's going to stay with the Philippines, but they'll only have 6 seconds to work with. Carl Tamayo is in the game for the Philippines. Coach Tim Cohn has dubbed him as a future great and probably one of the best players, if not the best player on this Philippine team. That time drawing a foul on Leafa. So Tamayo will head. Oh no, the New Zealand isn't over the foul limit just yet. So that's going to give the Philippines a fresh 14 seconds here. They're going to run the same play with Tamayo in the corner. Backing down the defender here. Tamayo going to work. Tamayo losing a hand for the basketball. Recovers. Reverse shot is no good. 27-13, still our score. It's a 14-point lead for New Zealand. Scotty. Now the Philippines are starting to work their offense. Justin to Scotty to Chris. Fakes the 3, drives. Jumper in the corner, that's his signature. And gets that one up and in. A fadeaway J for Chris Newsom. Cutting the lead back down to 12. Oh, that 3-point arc is wide open for Tohi Smith-Milner. And makes it a 15-point game. Only the first quarter here between New Zealand and the Philippines. Boy, you cannot let New Zealand open at any second. They'll do it with a hand in your face. They'll do it with no hands in your face. That 3-point shot is pure money for them. 6 for 9 from downtown for New Zealand. And we got a foul there. Game clock will stop at 6.7. It's going to be the Philippines to inbound. Chris Newsom has the basketball. Let's see what he works with here. Ball right back into his hands. Brownlee. 2 defenders draped all over him. Newsom, the 3-pointer. Again. See, the 3-point shot for the Philippines. If you're able to watch the game on the Smart Live Stream app, you can see that those 3-point shots are right down the middle, halfway in, rattling in and out. And those are the tough shots that you wish you could take back, because it was 1% away from being a made basket. But unfortunately for the Philippines, that 1% just did not fall their way. 3-point shooting from downtown, 1 for 8 for the Philippines. They're shooting 35% from the field as a team, 7 for 20. Meanwhile, the Tall Blacks, 11 for 16, 68% from the field, 6 for 9 from downtown, 66%. And they're also doing a great job on the rebounds here. 8 rebounds in total and 7 assists. They're not turning the ball that much. Talking about New Zealand here. So it's really been a tale of 2 teams between New Zealand and the Philippines. Sometimes in these, a lot of the times in these qualifying games, you would see both 2 teams just, when they're relatively in the same standing, they match up pretty well. But right now, it just seems like New Zealand is in a completely different level. But still, 3 more quarters for the Philippines to try to mount this comeback. Again, they did it against Chinese Taipei. They had some momentum down the stretch in the game. Unfortunately, time just wasn't on their side, and they weren't able to get the job done. This time against New Zealand, though, it's a little bit of a different story because they're already down by 15 after the first quarter. Chat, let me know. Can the Philippines fight their way back into this one? And if they can, what do they do? What is going to be key? Who is going to be key? Aside from obviously Justin Brownlee, who we know can turn things in a snap and get things going for himself and get the offense going for his squad, who else needs to step up? Or who do you want to see step up against New Zealand here as we start off the second quarter? So 30-15 is our score here. Got Newsome, Fajardo, Perez, Brownlee, and Tamayo. That's the 5 here for Coach Tim Cone. Boy, Junmar. I haven't seen Junmar having a hard time backing down a defender more than he did just there against the bigs from New Zealand. That's when you know that they're in a different league right now. That physicality, that size and strength difference, even for someone as strong as Junmar Fajardo, making it a hard time for him. But he's at the free throw line, though, to shoot some free throws. So Fajardo at the free throw line here. Makes the first and misses the second. Goes 1 for 2, 30-16 is the score here. Tall Blacks trying to make the move. Perez almost got the steal there. Newsome completes the steal. Newsome is running with Tamayo and Perez. Newsome going all the way. Layup is good, plus the foul. And that's going to be an and one opportunity for Chris Newsome, trying to inject some momentum here. I like it when a player has 2 other guys on him and then 1 defender to guard all 3 of them and then takes it himself. That's playing mind games with the lowly defender. And when you take it yourself, you know you want to take it strong. And you know you're doing that because you want to inject some energy into your squad. That's exactly what Chris Newsome did there. Completes the 3-point play opportunity. Makes it an 11-point game. New Zealand working that 3-point arc. Jumper is good for Corey Webster. That's a step back jumper. His foot was on the line, so that's only going to count as a 2-pointer. Fajardo, double team, ball is stolen, but a foul is going to be called. Foul is going to go on Taylor Britt. That is team foul number 3 already for New Zealand. So this might be the chance for the Philippines to make their way to the free throw line here. So that foul is going to give the Philippines 14 seconds on the shot clock. Britt has 2 fouls. Smith Milner already with 2 fouls. Again, New Zealand in this quarter already with 3. 2 more and they're in the bonus. Perez stops, pops, reverse. Banker is good. And CJ Perez cuts the lead back down to 11. Gets those 2 points from Webster right back. Oh, that time, a find. What a find from Leafa. Philippines back with it. Aftana fakes the triple. Moves his way into the paint. Leafa fouls. Oh no, that's going to be a jump ball situation rather. So Calvin Aftana forcing the situation that time. 5 seconds on the shot clock, though, for the Philippines. Aftana, can he make it work? Aftana, turnaround jumper is good. And the Philippines are playing around that 11-point lead here. Hasn't been able to break it the past couple of possessions because they've been giving up some easy looks here. Oh, this time making some good defense, but Newsome draws the foul, or fouls rather. So already the second foul on Chris Newsome. Again, one of the leaders on this team, someone who you don't want to get into foul trouble as well. That veteran leadership. That time fouling Terangi. And we got a timeout here for New Zealand. They have an 11-point lead against the Philippines. Chat, let me know how you guys are feeling so far about this game. I was saying earlier how this kind of feels a little bit weird because with the way that New Zealand has been shooting that basketball, I thought you would think that the Philippines would be down way more than they are. But it's only an 11-point game. Couple of buckets, 2 buckets, and then they're into double possessions, single possessions now. The Philippines only have 4 assists to New Zealand's 8. Both of the teams have 2 turnovers, so relative to their last game against Chinese Taipei, the Philippines have been taking care of the ball a little bit more than they did in their last game. Maybe that explains why they've been able to keep it relatively close. You see all the Filipino fans in attendance here, making it a home game wherever they are in the world here. And if this is a home game for the Philippines, well, the away team is firmly in control. New Zealand still has the basketball. 14 seconds on the shot clock for them. Oh, what a pass. What a find. Man, Leafa had a nice look to Terangi. Unfortunately, Terangi couldn't make the shot. Man, but Leafa had eyes in front of him and threw a behind the head pass to Terangi on the 3-point arc. 11-point game here. Gilas with the basketball. Tamayo, the 3-pointer, gets that one to bounce. Wow, Carl Tamayo. Okay, now the Philippines are starting to carry out some momentum. Any 3-point shot is going to give them some momentum. Leafa, though, that time, pure and right down the middle, gets the 3-pointer to fall. Another triple for New Zealand. That was their first one in quite some time. But overall, that's their 7th of the game. Tamayo backing down the defense and draws the foul there. Ty Wynyard draws the foul on, or is fouled. Call it for the foul there on Carl Tamayo. Tamayo with a sweet move. Almost made the basket also. So this is exactly why Coach Tim Cohn has such high regards for Carl Tamayo. With the way that he plays and with his size, being able to get into the paint, work that post area, and get to the free throw line. That skill set is exactly why he's regarded as one of the best players here in the country. Philaness says, I hope that the other locals shoot better compared to their last game against Chinese Taipei. And well, we talked about it earlier. Shooting is going to be key for the Philippines. That is what they lacked against Chinese Taipei, where, you know, Chinese Taipei just shot the lights out from downtown and took advantage of it. Meanwhile, the Philippines was unable to get some buckets on their end. The 3-point shot worked only for Justin Brownlee and Dwight Ramos. Everyone else was unable to buy a basket. Right now, though, Philippines are finding some quality baskets. Makes it an 8-point game here. New Zealand forces a timeout. So now momentum's starting to shift just a little bit. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves, because when New Zealand is poked a little bit, when you poke the bear, you know what happens. And right now, the Philippines are poking the bear, and they need to expect a barrage coming up. Whether that's going to be from the 3-point arc or from in that painted area where New Zealand can take advantage of those big bodies, be ready for it, because it's coming. You've trimmed this lead down to single digits. Make it an 8-point game, and after New Zealand shooting as hot as they did and only being up by 8, you have to watch out for what they have next, because I'm sure they're not happy with how this lead is at. So watch out what happens after this timeout. There's 164 of people watching here. Welcome everybody to the FIBA Asia Cup Saudi Arabia 2025 Qualifiers Chat Party. If you are just joining us, you can watch the game on the Smart live stream app if you're in the Philippines, completely for free, and you can join in on us here on the chat party to talk about the game simultaneously and listen in to all of the live reactions we have here between the Philippines and New Zealand. Right now, the Philippines are looking for that 3-point shot, still not falling for them though, as Jordan Ngatai is fouled that time, and he'll head to the free throw line here for New Zealand. So Ngatai, we talked about it during the pre-game, where in that last game against Hong Kong, he had 6 3-pointers in total, shot 6 for 7 from downtown, might I add. Had 20 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 steals. It was an all-around effort for Jordan Ngatai. And he is definitely someone on that scouting report for the Philippines. Perez driving, shot is no good, looking for the foul, won't get it. And Perez loses a hand on the basketball, and that's going to be a turnover for the Philippines. Another turnover for them. Turnovers was another key thing that made it a struggle for the Philippines, as we get another 3-point shot, this time by Tohi Smith-Milner. That is 3-pointer number 8 for New Zealand. 8 for 13 from downtown. They are taking full advantage of this Philippine team. Thompson to Fajardo. Fajardo draws the foul. So the problem right now for the Philippines is that the defense, whenever it's in the hands of guys like Junmar Fajardo and Justin Brownlee, they are suffocating them every single time. And that's because New Zealand has done their scouting report. They know that Fajardo and Brownlee are offensive threats. They're a threat for a 3-point shot. They're a threat for an easy bucket on the inside if you don't put a body on them. They're instant buckets whenever the ball is in their hands. So make it a hard time for them, and you're going to make it a hard time for the Philippines. Unfortunately, with everyone else on the floor not shooting well and not having, the offensive arsenal to show for. New Zealand is, well, just sagging off on those 3-point shooters for the Philippines. And they're giving those open looks, and unfortunately, the Philippines has just been unable to get a handle on it. Jumper on the inside is good. Score is 45-31. Taylor Britt makes that 2-point jumper to fall, and the lead is back up to 14. Thompson driving, puts it up, won't go. Thompson trying to secure the steal there, could not get it. And Britt has the basketball again. Darling hands it over here to Leafa. 3-point shot on the way. That's going to be a miss from Walter Brown. Offensive rebound, though, here for New Zealand. Britt guarded by Brownlee. The jumper. That's good. Whoa, what a move from Taylor Britt. All right. Didn't know he had that in his bag. My apologies, boy. What a move. That was a sweet move off the hesitation. A little dribble move to get the jumper up to fall. Oh, and Justin Brownlee on the other end, making some magic of his own. Gets that one up and in. G-Sauce Fries, like the name, says here on the chat, the Philippines really missing the presence of Kai Soto. I think that's been a relevant and persistent thing that we've seen here on the chat from the last chat party to this one. That presence of Kai Soto on the interior, both on the offensive end and the defensive end, is really a big blow and a big loss for the Philippines. I think Coach Tim really built an offense and a system that works well for Kai Soto, and no one has just been able to fill that gap, fill that hole that was left by Kai. For those of you who don't know, again, Kai Soto went down with an injury while he was playing professionally in Japan, so took him out of basketball activities for the whole year. So it's definitely a big blow for the Philippines, and something that they have to adjust for, though. They have to take that on the chin and move on and look for how they can make things work without their prized big man in that center spot. 50-33 is our score here. The Philippines have taken a timeout. Coach Tim just raging in this timeout here. Not happy. This is the largest lead of New Zealand in the game. 17 points for them. Big blow yet again in the first half for the Philippines. And if they're looking to make their way back into this game, it's going to be another hill to climb. They could not get the job done against Chinese Taipei. It was a struggle for them in the first half, but in the second half, made a really good run at it. Made it a close game at one point, but was just unable, just lost gas down the stretch there. So let's see if New Zealand and Coach Jude Flavel can keep this lead and avoid the Philippines making a run after the halftime break. But with the way that New Zealand is playing on the defensive end here, I don't think they're gonna let up anytime soon. A foul is called there on Calvin Oftana. I was on the fast break. Oftana that time fouling Max Darling. corner triple for New Zealand. That shot is no good by Ngatay. And that's going to be another foul. This time going to go on Scotty Thompson. Isaac drew that one for New Zealand. So Gilas is also over the foul limit now. Leafa open for three. Can't get that one to fall. Another offensive rebound, though, here for New Zealand. They have 8 seconds to shoot. Just about 2 minutes remaining here in the second quarter. Oh, what a hesitation from Leafa. Didn't make the basket, though, but lost Dwight Ramos on that hezi. Wow. Oh, I love Dwight Ramos, but he was on skates on that one. Oftana with 4 seconds to shoot. Gets it to Brownlee. Brownlee unaware of the shot clock and can't get it off in time. So that's going to be a shot clock violation. 1:35 remaining here in the second quarter. Good morning or good evening, good day to the 137 of you watching here. It's 10:40 a.m. on a Sunday morning here in the Philippines. So if you're watching here and you're looking to watch the game, you can watch it on the Smart Live Stream app early on a Sunday morning. Try and watch for the Philippines to mount a comeback here. Jamie Malonzo has checked into the game for the Philippines. Did not play in their last game against Chinese Taipei, so making his debut here for this window. They get it to Malonzo. Jamie looking for teammates, gets it to Scotty, but that's... Oh, gets a steal though. Scotty on the inside, challenged by Darling. Boy, it looked like Scotty was trying to go for a dunk there. Oh, nice poke. Darling hands it over here. Terangi gives it up. Ngatay from way downtown. Left it short, but it was right down the middle also. Score is 53-33. Almost a steal. Malonzo inside to Fajardo. About a 3-second difference. Shot clock, game clock. Fajardo misses on the jumper. And New Zealand has another chance here. A chance at the final shot of the quarter. Here's that matchup. Leafa and Ramos. This time, Ramos putting the clamps on Leafa, but that's going to be it for the first half. 53-33 is the score. The lead is 20 by New Zealand. A tough first half of basketball for the Philippines. An excellent first half of basketball for New Zealand. And they have built it off of hefty shooting from downtown. What a game here from the Tall Blacks. How are we feeling here on the chat? Let me know what you guys are feeling. Let me know. Keep it clean though. I want to talk to you guys, but keep it clean. Let's enjoy the game here. I know if you're the Philippines, it's pretty tough to watch a game like this when you're down by 20, but let me know what you think about what New Zealand has been doing, and let me know what you think about what the Philippines has been doing in this game. Well, for me personally though, those shots, I think the quality of the shots that the Philippines are getting here are very decent shots. You know, they're not shots that are wide open, and I don't think you can expect a wide open shot in games like this, but they are running their plays and they are executing that ball movement. It's unfortunately the Philippines just has been struggling on that offensive end because of the defense being shown here by New Zealand. You see, you know, guys like Justin Brownlee obviously getting things going, making it, being very poised for the Philippines. But guys, on the other end for New Zealand, Toby Smith-Milner, plus 18 when he's on the floor here. Has 14 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal, and a block. The defensive end has really been key for New Zealand, aside from the three-point shooting. 3-and-D is the name of the game for them. And they have been living true to that mantra. Again, Smith-Milner with 14 points. Jordan Ngatai has 11 points. Surprisingly, Ngatai has only hit 2 3-pointers rather, while Smith-Milner has had 4 3-pointers already. So across those two guys, that accounts for 6 of the 10 triples. You have 4 other players who have hit a 3-pointer for New Zealand. Meanwhile, for the Philippines, the 3-point shot not been the best for them. 2 for 11 from downtown. They have been trying to get that 3-point shot to work, but so far only Carl Tamayo and Dwight Ramos have hit a triple for them. Well, again, if you're just joining us here on the chat, if you want to watch the game, you can watch it on the Smart Livestream app. If you're in the Philippines, you can watch it completely free, and you can join in simultaneously here on the chat party so we can talk about the game and discuss and break down possession by possession, play after play, see what everybody around the world has to say about the Philippines and New Zealand here. G Sauce saying Filipinos are struggling against New Zealand's size. Well, that's, to your point earlier also, that they're really missing Kai Soto in this game. They're missing Kai Soto for this entire team. That size that he has, that length that he controls when he's on the floor is something that you cannot, or is hard to replace. Take a look at the team scoring from quarter 1 and quarter 2. Philippines have not even scored 20 points in one quarter thus yet. They scored 18 in the second, 15 in the first quarter. New Zealand, on the other hand, 30 points in quarter number 1, 23 points in quarter number 2. So there is a trend, if you want to look at it at a very analytical way. There is a trend, though. New Zealand is sloping downwards in terms of quarter scoring. The Philippines sloping slightly upward, scoring 3 more points. So maybe they improve more in the third quarter. But at halftime, this is where teams come out and just drop the ball on the other one. They are extremely hard. It is extremely hard to tell which team is going to come out of that third quarter right out of the gates, swinging and guns blazing. But it's going to be fun to watch to see which team can try to fight their way back here. Take a look at the Philippine team here. The leading scorers for them, Justin Brownlee with 8. Only 8 points for Justin Brownlee to start off this one. He is shooting very efficiently, though. 4 for 5 from the field. Meanwhile, their second leading scorer in Junmar Fajardo has 7 in this one. Offensive rebounds, not going the Philippines' way. Also, they do have 8, but have not been able to convert a lot of those offensive rebounds into points. So it has only been a number on the stat sheet for them. The rebounds They have 18 in total as a team. Turnovers, again, the turnovers was a part of the game in their last one where they really struggled. I think in the first half, they already had 8 against Chinese Taipei. Here, they only have 4. But like I was talking about, 4 turnovers in a game against a team like New Zealand where they are shooting lights out from downtown. Those are 4 costly turnovers, and turnovers you do not want to give yet again. So still a lot of time though. Still a lot of time for the Philippines to make their way back into this one. It's going to take a lot of energy and a lot of firepower on their end, and they really need to ramp things up on the defensive end. They have been leaving that 3-point arc wide open for New Zealand. If they're not leaving it open, they're not putting enough defense, not putting enough pressure for New Zealand to force that basketball in the painted area. Now, I know points in the paint is also an avenue where New Zealand can get some quality points in. But with the way that they're shooting right now, you do not want to give that up even more. I think you can live with making it tough for them on the inside, but you cannot leave them any breathing room on that 3-point arc. So watch out for that. And watch out for Tohi Smith-Miller, who has 4 triples. And he's someone who has just been getting those 3-pointers off of a fast break. He has been stepping in to those 3-pointers time and time again. 4 3-pointers in the game for him. Again, 2 coming from Jordan Ngatai. And we talked about how in the last game, New Zealand had 12 3-pointers. Well, at halftime against the Philippines, they already have 10. So not a good look if you're Gilas Pilipinas. So let me know who you guys are rooting for. I see a lot of people coming in and out of the chat. Let me know who you guys are rooting for here and supporting between New Zealand and the Philippines. We are just about to tip off the third quarter here and about to get things going. Let's see if the Philippines can come out of this third quarter and mount a comeback. Gonna be a tough ask and a tough hill to climb if you're the Philippines, but definitely not impossible. That last game against Chinese Taipei, they made a run for it in that third quarter also. So maybe Coach Tim finds some adjustments and finds a way to get their way back in here. You see the team is coming out of the locker room, talking to one another, trying to dissect what is going to happen and what has happened in that first half. They are more than ready to go. And you gotta, if you're the Philippines, you have to feel good about the amount of fans that are in the arena here. This is obviously home territory again for their opponents, but there's a lot of Filipinos in attendance, so still, this is a home game for New Zealand. So if you want to channel some energy, look on to the Filipino fans that are there cheering you on. There's a lot of them in attendance. And meanwhile, for the Tall Blacks, they are feeding off of the energy here in their home crowd, leading game leaders for New Zealand. Smith Milner again with 14 points. Leafa has 4 assists to lead everyone. And also Leafa has 4 rebounds. So rebounding has been scattered throughout New Zealand actually. In total they have 19 as a team, but like we mentioned, the only player with more than 2 rebounds is Isaiah Leafa. So now it's a matter of finding those adjustments here in the third quarter. If you're the Philippines, try to adjust on that defensive and offensive end by means of 3-point shooting on the offensive end, and on defense just making it extremely hard for New Zealand on that 3-point arc. Force that ball out of that 3-point arc and try to get it on the inside. The interior defense by the Philippines hasn't been the best, but again, I think you would much rather give up a look on the inside than the outside with the way that New Zealand is playing right now. Justin Brownlee is going to carry a heavy load here in the second half because he is the leading scorer for the Philippines, shooting 4 for 5 from the field. Relatively a slow start to the game, at least for Justin Brownlee standards. So look for him to get things going. Positive for him is that he hasn't had any turnovers just yet. And we are waiting opening possession here in the third quarter. I was talking about how in the last game, body language was a big thing for Chinese Taipei. It looked like from the get-go they had more positive body language, more energy coming out of the game. And the Philippines just had no answers for that. And same can be said for this one. With the way that New Zealand is running that basketball, the way they are in those team huddles, they just have a different sense of energy compared to the Philippines. And I'm not saying this just because they're up 20. They had this energy at the start of the game as well. So one thing that you want to keep up in situations like this is your head. Want to keep that head up, want to keep that chin up, and find some of that momentum. Back with the game here, as New Zealand are looking to add to what is already a 20-point lead here at halftime. Leafa will take a seat to start off this quarter, but there's more than enough firepower on this New Zealand team to make their way back and continue where they left off here. As we start the third quarter with a possession here for New Zealand. Let's see how the Philippines can respond. 33-53. Oh, and already right out of the gates, Taylor Britt. You think someone as, not the tallest person on the court, Taylor Britt, but he can get into spots that no one else can and find a bucket for his squad. We saw 2 jump shots earlier from Taylor Britt that came off of relatively broken plays, and that time making his way on the inside for the lay-in. A shot on the other end by Junmar Fajardo is good. Take the lead back to 20. Tall Blacks with the basketball. Making his way on the inside, and a foul is called. Foul is drawn by Taylor Britt. Foul is called on Scotty Thompson. That time, Scotty was arguing that he had hands on the basketball and not on anything but that. So that's going to be a 14-second shot clock for New Zealand. They have a hand on the basketball now. Get a 20-point lead. 7 seconds to shoot here for New Zealand. Are they aware of the shot clock? 2 seconds. They get the shot off in time. And ooh, Corey Webster manages to get that floater to drop. And puts the lead back up here to 22. This is their largest lead of the day. Ramos off the screen. Ramos, the three-pointer. Again, too strong, but right down the middle for Dwight Ramos. Webster. Three-point shot is no good. Fajardo. Oh, he loses a hand on the basketball. That was poked from behind. New Zealand very, very active on that one. And Fajardo draws the foul. Foul is going to go on Judmar Fajardo. That's his second team foul for the Philippines. Winhard was who was fouled. Coach Tim Cohn extremely not happy with that one. The referees are asking him to stay calm and take a seat. Oh, there was a technical. There was a technical free throw shot by Corey Webster. Technical foul called on Coach Tim Cohn. Yeah, just not happy with how that call went out. Winhard. And this is the first of 2 free throws, though. And again, not the way you want the quarter to start if you're the Philippines. You want to start off with some quality momentum, with some good momentum. And having a technical foul on your coach, missing a couple of shots and forcing the other team to the free throw line is unfortunately not how it's gonna go. How it's not gonna do it. Brownlee, the jumper, goes in and out. Aguilar on the inside, puts it up. No, Fajardo, the tip in. So now Gilas making their way on the inside there. Trying to force the situation, but another foul is called on the Philippines. Now everybody can't believe it. And again, there's another stoppage here. Tensions are rising between the Philippine crowd, Coach Tim Cohn, the New Zealand crowd. Tensions all over, and another technical free throw has been awarded and made by Corey Webster. New Zealand back at the free throw line. Ruben Tirangi is right on there. So a bit of a slow start to this third quarter. But that's because of all the fire being thrown on the sidelines right now. Score is 62-37. With the Philippines looking to buy some momentum. Ramos with a stutter step. Jumper can't go. Terangi with the rebound. Ngatay, the three-pointer. Too strong. Offensive rebound, though, to Taylor Britt. Terangi in the corner. Triple. That's good. And things are starting to get out of hand here for the Philippines. 65-37 is the score. A 28-point lead for New Zealand. Nice pass on the inside by Dwight Ramos to Japet Aguilar. puts the lead down here to 26. Terangi thought about the three-pointer. He could have let that fly easily, and that would have been a good shot. Step back jumper for Corey Webster, no good. Tip in by Winhard is no good, but there's a foul called. And it's going to go on Junmar Fajardo. So Fajardo is in foul trouble right now. So Fajardo with 3 fouls in this game. 2 more and he is out of here. So Coach Tim will react. We'll bring in AG Edu into this one. Scotty Thompson will also take a seat as Chris Newsom checks in this game. Boy, New Zealand already shooting their 7th and 8th free throws of this quarter. The Philippines hasn't shot a free throw yet in this quarter. So those easy points at the free throw line not coming for the Philippines. Only shot 5 for 7 today. Meanwhile, New Zealand shooting 8 for 10. Aguilar to Newsom. Chris to AJ on the inside to Japet. Turnaround jumper off the glass and in. Japet Aguilar cuts the lead down. We're approaching the halfway mark here of the third quarter. And New Zealand really working that basketball. Nice hands by Chris Newsom. Almost getting the steal there. Or if you're just joining us here on the Smart Livestream app, again, you can watch. Excuse me, if you're just joining us here on the chat party, you can watch the game on the Smart Livestream app. If you're in the Philippines, you can watch it for free. That's the best way. You can watch the game and then you can watch simultaneously here with us on the chat party to talk about the game and dissect everything play by play, talk about the ins and outs of the game, and listen to what everybody from around the world is saying about this matchup against New Zealand and the Philippines. So score is 67-41. First team foul on New Zealand being called that time. It was Webster and Ramos who got into it. Possession for the Philippines. They're down by 26. Largest lead of the day was 28 by New Zealand. Jumper by Chris Newsom. That's good. They cut 43rd point for the Philippines here. Newsom with 7 points in the game. Again, the open triple by Tohi Smith-Milner. Every time on the defensive end, the Philippines have just left the door wide open for Smith-Milner to get that one up and in, and he has taken full advantage of it. And he has just been nesting at that three-point arc, getting in the right space, right spot at the right time to get it up and in. And Smith-Milner with his 17th point of the game, shooting 5 for 7 from downtown. Last game, it was Jordan Ngatay who shot well from downtown. Now it's Smith-Milner. The Tall Blacks are not playing from downtown. So there's a foul on New Zealand. That's going to send AJ Edu to the free throw line here. AJ, similar to Kai Soto, was a young protege in the Gilas Pilipinas juniors teams. Made his way through the ranks like with Kai Soto, and now representing the country here and playing for the Philippines. Makes 2 out of 2 free throws. He's got 6 rebounds to accompany it. And there's another foul being called here on the Philippines. That's going to send Smith Milner to the free throw line, and more free throws coming here for New Zealand. First out of 2 free throws is good for Smith Milner. Puts the score up to 71-45. 4 minutes and 22 seconds remaining here in the third quarter as Smith Milner goes 2 for 2 from downtown. The Tall Blacks still playing hard-nosed defense. Edu to Oftana, the three-pointer. Quick shot, up and in. Oftana gets his first three-pointer here. Leafa back into the ball game. Darling open for 3. Can't get that one to fall, and Brownlee has the basketball here for the Philippines. And if you're the Philippines, you want to string together a couple of timely baskets, a couple of quality baskets to try to get things up and going, as AJ Edu drawing the foul there and getting the shot up and in. He is pumped after that one. Felt like he was fouled for a lot of that. And when he did get the call, was very pumped up to get that one up and in. So AJ Edu at the free throw line, 4 points and 8 rebounds in total. 7 of those rebounds have come from the offensive end. Not a stat that you see normally. Too strong that time for AJ Edu. So still a 22-point lead for New Zealand with just under 4 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Leafa the three-pointer. That's offline, and Chris Newsom has the basketball here for the Philippines. Newsom looking for Edu on that inside. I think they like this matchup for AJ Edu. Chris Newsom, the three-pointer. Too strong there. Tall Blacks get the rebound. Score is 72-50. Tall Blacks working still on that three-point arc. This time Leafa takes it on the inside. Too strong. And that ball is out of bounds. People are looking at one another, asking, who is it going to be? Chris Newsom is already waiting on the out of bounds to take the ball out. And that ball will go to the Philippines. So they'll have possession here. 72-50 again is the score. A 22-point lead for New Zealand. Both teams over the foul limit. Under 3 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. Newsom. Using that screen there from Fajardo. Newsom gets freed up. He likes that turnaround jumper, and that falls. Patented shot for Chris Newsom. Takes the lead down to 20. So a bit of a dry spell for New Zealand. Past couple of possessions. Might break it here 3-point shot in the corner, no good. Tip-in, still no good. And now Justin Brownlee has it for the Philippines. That crowd, that Philippine crowd behind their bench is roaring. All in spite of the hefty lead here still. That is what they call puso, heart in the Philippines. They feel like they are well in this no matter what. Like I mentioned, both teams over the foul limit. That time New Zealand fouling Junmar Fajardo, and he's gonna go to the free throw line here. Fajardo, the veteran big Philippine legend at this point. Unfortunately, misses the first of 2 free throws. Has 11 points today with 4 rebounds. Split in the middle between offensive and defensive, and Fajardo goes 0 for 2 at the free throw line. Philippines shooting 58% from the free throw line, 7 for 12. Britt has Fajardo on him, likes that chance, gets the jumper to fall. Lead is back up to 22. AJ Edu in the corner, 3-pointer. That's good. A rare 3-pointer for AJ Edu. Nonetheless, he makes it. 7 points and 9 rebounds for AJ Edu. Ngatay makes his way on the inside. Under a minute to go here in the third quarter. Oh, Leafa losing everybody on that one. Could not make the shot though. And the Philippines have possession. Again, under a minute remaining. Brownlee finds Oftana open for 3. Too strong. Ball is loose and picked up by Calvin Oftana. About a shot clock's time remaining here in the third quarter, and the Philippines will look to milk it out here. 74-55. Pass inside to Fajardo. Kick it out. 5 seconds. Oftana in the corner. No can do. 3 seconds. Leafa from half court. Almost made it in. And that's going to be the end of the third quarter. So one final quarter to go here between New Zealand and the Philippines. Again, we talked about the trajectory of this game. How New Zealand, their points production was sloping downwards. Well, it's not too down at this point. They still outscore the Philippines. But the Philippines have made some quality plays here in the third quarter and found a way to chip just ever so slightly into the lead here. But still a very tall hill to climb if they find a way to get back into this game. Down 20 with 1 quarter remaining. That might be one of the greatest comebacks ever. But New Zealand is really holding their fort here. They're doing it on the offensive end and on the defensive end. The shooting has not let up. They've been making the most out of their opportunities at the free throw line. And they've also been making some timely baskets on the inside as well. Credit all of that to the prowess here by the Tall Blacks. And they have 1 more quarter to go against a Philippine team who is struggling to find their identities here on the offensive end and on the defensive end. Well, if you're just joining us, we want to remind everybody that you can watch the game live on the Smart Livestream app completely for free if you're in the Philippines. And then you can watch along simultaneously here on the FIBA Asia Cup Qualifiers Chat Party. So we can join in on all of the discussions and all of the party here. So again, it is about to start here in the fourth quarter. Have a bit of technical difficulties here on our stream. If you're still seeing the third quarter score here, it's actually the fourth quarter now with the score 74-55 in favor of New Zealand. It's a 19-point lead for the Tall Blacks. And we have kicked off the fourth and final quarter here between New Zealand and the Philippines. Tall Blacks have the possession here. Terangi turning around, jumper no good. And there's that defensive stop that the Philippines needed. (74-55). The Philippines with possession. Aguilar felt like he ran through a wall with how he drove baseline there, but gets the bucket nonetheless. Philippines chip into the lead here. 17-point lead for the Tall Blacks. Another miss on the inside. And right now, that Philippine crowd is roaring from behind the bench. Newsome puts it up. Shot won't go. But it looks like a foul is going to be called there on Britt. There it is. Laid the hands down on Chris Newsome, and that's going to be called for a foul every single time. So it's been a slow or dry spell for New Zealand leading up, going all the way back into the latter parts of the third quarter. Meanwhile, for the Philippines, it's been quite hot. See people on chat saying Pinoy pride, that fighting spirit, very much evident here on this Philippine team right now. If they're trying to make a comeback, now is the time to do it. But similar to their matchup against Chinese Taipei, the question is it too late? Is the time too little now for them? 3-point shot was a miss by Smith Milner. Newsome has it for the Philippines. Chris going to work, gets it to Tamayo. Carl Tamayo, the 3-point shot, that's too strong. And the Tall Blacks have possession yet again. Wide open lane to the basket there. That shot was no good for New Zealand. Smith Milner to Webster, the 3-point shot, that's good for Corey Webster. Webster saying, settle things down here. 77-59. Webster has 12 points in the game. Oh, and Calvin Oftana answers with a 3-pointer of his own in the corner. Gets the lead back down to 15, and a foul is called on Chris Newsome. Gonna be the first team foul of the game here in the fourth quarter for the Philippines. Boy, the 3-point shot. Well alive on both sides here. New Zealand is going to take a timeout, though. Let me know what you feel about this one. The Philippines are starting to heat up here. Again, the question remains, is it too late? Is the time too little to make their way back into this game? It's a 15-point lead with 7 minutes remaining, but they are starting to ramp things up here. Let me know what you guys are feeling here on our chat party. It's the fourth quarter, 7 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in the ball game. Score is 77-62 in favor of New Zealand. It's a 15-point lead. Smith Milner leads New Zealand in three-pointers with 5. Terangi and Webster each have 2. So look for them if New Zealand is looking for a 3-point shot. Moments away from getting back in play here. So the 5 on the floor here for the Philippines is of Tana, Edu Aguilar, and Brownlee. And we are right back in this one. Newsome with the basketball. Looking for options. Uses that screen from Justin Brownlee. Newsome all the way. Layup is good. Game is down to 13. Webster bench production for the Philippines has been key. 40 points coming off of that Philippine bench. Boy, what a game. What a game down the stretch this has turned out to be. But again, let's see if they can continue in the final 5 minutes of this ball game. Score is 81-66. Fourth and final quarter here between the Philippines and New Zealand. Been a tough game for the Philippines. Offensively, they have made some adjustments. Ramos and Thompson back in the ball game. Ramos tries the three-pointer. No can do still for Dwight Ramos. And the Tall Blacks will milk some time off the clock here. Smith Milner loses a hand on the basketball. Edu running the floor, lays it up. No! Thompson, the offensive rebound, still no. And missed opportunities for the Philippines. That must be painful to see. Well, chat, let me know how you feel about this game. What a pass by Britt on the inside to Smith Milner. Faked everybody, including myself, that he was going for the shot, and then find Smith Milner on the inside. Made the adjustment mid-air. And Smith Milner fouled at the free throw line here. Will shoot free throws. Makes the first of 2. Smith Milner goes 2 for 2. Score is 83-86. Time running out for the Philippines. Just about 4 minutes remaining here. Oh, that was a steal by Britt. And Taylor Britt with hands all over the basketball here. Britt, only his second steal. That's 5 rebounds rather. And a handful of assists. Webster, that time loses the basketball on the drive. The Philippines will have it. 83-66. If you want a bucket, you need it early. But again, another turnover for the Philippines. Leads to a bucket. No, it doesn't. Leads to a stop by Japet Aguilar. Ramos getting inside, drawing the foul. Foul is going to be called on the floor. So no shot for Dwight Ramos. And the Philippines, that opportunity, that window of opportunity to make their way back into this game is slowly getting closed here. If it's not already closed. Score is 83-66 with 3 minutes remaining. CJ Perez loses a hand on the basketball. Might have gotten blocked on the shot. Britt on the inside, trying to connect that bounce pass to the cutting teammate. Won't get it. And New Zealand will have possession. Britt. Ball finds its way to Smith Milner. Ball back inside to Smith-Milner. Alley-oop, lob, no good. Offensive tip in, no. Second try is good. I think you can count that as a third try for Smith-Milner. Gets that one up and in. And the lead is back up to 19. Coach Tim has brought in their young guns in this one. And that just might be the white flag here. Tough game for the Philippines. Had that opportunity. Trimmed it down to 11 at one point. But after two back-to-back baskets from New Zealand, that window is shut closed right now. And CJ Perez is at the free throw line here for the Philippines. Misses the first of two. He was fouled early on. And trying to go for the second one here. Does just that. Goes 2 for 2 at the free throw line. Smith-Milner again from three-pointer. Shot won't go. And New Zealand has been cooled down from the three-point arc. Unfortunately, the Philippines unable to capitalize on that cold shooting from downtown. And with under 2 minutes remaining, the Philippines will drop their second game here of this window. They will end their qualifying campaign at 4-2. Meanwhile, the Tall Blacks will take control here in the group standings. They will improve to 5-1 and just have the edge over the Philippines. Oh, what a campaign, though, it was for the Philippines. Very promising one, but like we talked about here, that loss of Kai Soto was just too much to handle and too big of a hole to fill in such a short time for the Philippines. There is going to be some adjustments to be made as this program progresses, but it is going to take some time to fill that void left by Kai Soto. And if you're Coach Tim Cohen, you want to look into, some other options here, some other players who might fit that mold. Might not be one particular player, it might be a handful of ones to fit that mold by Kai Soto. But nonetheless, it is gonna be some adjustment period before this team starts to figure it out moving forward without Kai. They're taking a look at the replay here to see if who had the last touch on that out of bounds play. And it looks like the Philippines had the last piece on it, so it is New Zealand with the basketball. They have 16 seconds on the shot clock. Quick shot is no good. And New Zealand will just do their best at milking as much time as they can. Shot on the inside is no good. And the Philippines will have it here. Ramos open for three, puts it in. And Dwight Ramos makes another three-point shot, his second of the day. 8 points in the game for Dwight Ramos. And again, New Zealand will make the most out of the time that they have here. Give credit where credit is due to this New Zealand team. They came out with better energy, better focus on the offensive end, did not let any opportunity slip their way. And in terms of three-point shooting, made the most out of those wide open looks that the Philippines were giving them from downtown. It was an aspect of the game that we talked about earlier, how the Philippines cannot afford to give New Zealand those open looks. But unfortunately for them, the defense was unable to adjust. And unfortunately, they left their shooters open. Guys like Smith Milner, who in this game contributed 5 3-pointers out of the 13 that New Zealand made today. Next man up was Terangi, Webster, and Ngatay, who each had 2 3-pointers to their name. Leafa and Darling also had 1 apiece, so the shooting all throughout for New Zealand was top-notch. And on the defensive end, they showed exactly why. They are a tough team to beat, making it extremely hard for the Philippines every single time, every single play, every single rebound was tough for them. And now, as the game clock expires, that's going to be it. Your final score, 87-70. New Zealand get that revenge win against the Philippines. They do it in convincing fashion as well. A 17-point victory for the Tall Blacks. And they win their 5th game of this qualifying tournament. They improve to 5-1. They are 2-0 this window. And they will take that number 1 spot against the Philippines in the group standings. What a game it was for both New Zealand and the Philippines. Again, like I said, it'll be some time for the Philippines until they figure things out. But all respect to New Zealand, who came out of the gates here firing and hitting on all cylinders. And thank you to everybody as well here who joined us here on our chat party. Thanks to all of you who talked with us, gave your insights, gave your emotions throughout this game. And thanks for joining us here for chat party number 2 and for chat party number 1 that we did against Chinese Taipei. Thanks for everybody joining us here on the FIBA Asia Cup Saudi Arabia 2025 qualifiers, brought to you by the Smart Livestream app. By the way, my name is Kobe Diao. Thanks for being with me here on this Sunday morning, and I hope that today you get filled with more basketball action coming up wherever you may be in the world. So once again, thanks for joining us. See you next time here on the FIBA Basketball YouTube channel. See you next time, guys.